We get asked this over and over lately. How come we look the way we do, and other people who are in raw food, they look all shriveled up and wrinkled and they're losing their hair and they just don't look that good? And I get this question over and over and over. Now, first of all, there's days where we don't look that great. So a lot of it has to do with, I know my camera work and my lighting, that's a bit of it. But there are some real reasons why, and I've said this in other videos, but I'm going to say it again. I'm going to list everything. And I know some of you aren't going to want to hear this, but you want the truth. The big reasons for why some people look younger than others. I'm going to give it to you. First of all, humans are weak. They are a weak species. They give into addictions and they look for all these reasons to validate why they like what they like. I have never, ever touched alcohol. I've never smoked a cigarette. I've never even touched coffee. So right there off the bat, my entire life, my 56 years, no alcohol, no cigarettes, no coffee. My only weakness was sugar, and I'll get to that in a minute. But that's a big one right there. The two biggest things that age a human being, by far, is stress and smoking. Those are the two biggest ones right off the bat. If you smoke, you're going to look 10 to 20 years older than you are. There's no way around it. No plastic surgery is going to hide it. If you smoke anything. Now, there's a lot of health food people out there, healthy people, who smoke pot, weed. Anything that you smoke into your lungs, that you pull into your lungs that is not fresh air, anything that hinders the function of your lungs. When you smoke anything, tar and resins coat your lungs so the red blood cells cannot carry oxygen to your skin, and if your skin isn't getting the oxygen that it needs, it will start to die. That's a big one. So I don't care what people say. I'm telling you the things that hinder you from looking young. Those are the two big ones. The next big thing by far is sugar. Sugar cross-links the proteins in your skin and makes it wrinkle. Now, there are people out there who, the people who say sugar is good for you, and the people who, the all-fruit diet. That's a lot of sugar. I like sugar. I've always been addicted to it. I've always eaten a lot of, sweet things. But I learned the hard way I started having all these problems when I was in art school, in college. I used to pride myself as how many bags of sugar I can put in my iced tea. Look at me, I'm putting 8 bags of sugar in my iced tea. I was putting jam on my eggs. I was putting honey on everything. And it made me feel good. It gave me an energy rush. I was like the $6 million man. I could run like crazy. But by the time I was 18, I had a cyst growing on my tailbone it was a disgusting story. I don't even want to get into the details of that. But the point is, I was dying. It started to kill me, and my teeth were rotting. And it's a big reason why people are losing their hair and their teeth. It's a long story. Plus, you get hypoglycemic, so you get mood swings. You're not fun to be with in a relationship. But that's not what this video is about. This is about looking young. So, sugar's a big one. Most people that you talk about, that you're asking me these questions about, they don't look that great. Most of them, they're sugar addicts. They love sugar. They love fruit. All they do is agave and honey, and they make all these smoothies. They think they're healthy, but it's full of like orange juice and honey and agave and sugar and coconut sugar and palm sugar, and it's sugar, all this sugar. If you eat fruit in its whole form, that's fine. But if you isolate the sugar, if you make, honey is highly concentrated sugar. And people are trying to find these excuses. Well, honey's antibacterial. Try rubbing honey on your teeth for a couple days and watch how your gums start to bleed. It's because you're feeding the bacteria. I'm telling you, sugar is aging. And we eat a lot of bitter things. Bitter cleans the liver. Liver produces hormones. It keeps you young. And the main thing that keeps you young, speaking of hormones, is HGH, human growth hormone. This leads to the next thing. Human growth hormone is what keeps you young. It builds muscle. And insulin is what ages you. And when you eat anything at all, you're releasing insulin. I said this in another video. When you eat anything, insulin is released, and these people that snack all day, I don't care how healthy it is, I don't care how healthy the food is, if you snack all day, you're releasing insulin. And insulin HGH can never be released at the same time as insulin. It's one or the other. Take your pick. So when you are eating, you are releasing insulin, and that is aging. When you don't eat, it's called fasting. You're releasing HGH. That's why the nothing till 4 is as popular as it is and why it works so great and it's healing. You can only release HGH at night when you're sleeping or when you're not eating. If you're eating, you're releasing insulin. So you're either aging or you're releasing human growth hormone, which keeps you young. That's huge. That's huge. How many people are going to follow that though? How many people are going to not snack all day? I don't care how healthy the food is that you're snacking on. If you're eating anything. Now there are a few exceptions like fats and oils. And of course, fats and oils are evil nowadays. Nobody wants to eat fats and oils. That's bad for you. Well, that's another thing. Kara and I eat, we eat some olive oil and coconut oil. We eat nuts and seeds, which other people say, don't do that. That's bad. It's evil. Well, that's what we do. You ask what we do, I'm telling you what we do. I don't think the bit that we have is going to kill us. Bernardo LaPallo, who I interviewed, lived to be 114, and he used olive oil every day of his life. I can go on and on, but the point is, so let's recap. People say, well, plastic surgery. That's why you look so young, got plastic surgery. We like to promote, I believe, in helping the body produce its own collagen. Doing the things that help promote the body's natural production of collagen. Injecting something in your body, it's a temporary fix, but if you're not healthy overall, it's going to look weird. So, how many people are eating their sea moss? It looks scary. It smells terrible. It doesn't taste that great. How many people are actually doing it? They buy it because, oh yeah, I want my collagen, but I'll bet you it's sitting on the shelf and nobody's using it. I know there's some exceptions out there, but I'm talking overall. The things that people can do to help their collagen, the herbal vitamin C, the sea moss, the bitter stuff, not the sweet stuff. You can tell I'm a little, it's just like, I say this, I've been saying the same stuff over and over for years. And people keep asking the same questions as if they didn't even hear what I said. They don't want to hear this. But I'm telling you, if you want to be healthy, if you want to be younger, if you want like the growth hormone, if you don't want to look like a raisin, less sweet, more bitter, it's not fun, but that's what it is. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't inhale anything into my lungs that isn't fresh oxygen. I have some sweet stuff once in a while, but it's not my main food source. Fruit's fine in its whole form. Fruit's fine if you blend it because you need the fiber. But once you start making juice out of it, you're concentrating the sugars, and people are putting extra sugar on stuff too, the honey and the agave and all that. The outside is a reflection of the inside, and it's also not just what you eat. A lot of it is, your face reflects how you feel. It's an emotional. You can tell if somebody feels just by looking at them. If you're not happy with your life, if you're not happy with what you're doing in your life or who you're with or, your life situation, it's going to show on your face. The more unhappy you are with where you are in life, the more it's going to just permanently become part of your face. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy with Kara. I love doing, if there's something I don't, I follow my heart. A lot of times I could lose everything I have. I could lose all my money. I've lost everything I've had many times over to where I had nothing. But I was following my heart, and I refused to be a slave to a system that makes you a robot and makes you miserable. And it shows. It'll kill you. And I think if you stick to what it is that you love, it's going to empower you. It's going to make you strong, and it's going to give you life force, and that's going to show up in you. So you got to be following what makes you alive in life. And it's not easy. You'll be tested. You'll be tested over and over, if you really have the strength to stick to what you believe in. And that's what I'm going to come back. It comes right back to where I started this video. Do you have the strength? Or are you going to give in to your weakness? Are you going to give in to the cigarettes, the alcohol, the sugar, the bread, the pasta, the cereal, all the weaknesses that drag you down to be like everyone else? Or are you going to be that one person? Because I'm talking about, the people that are really, really healthy are like the 0.0001%. There's very few of them. It's less than 1%. It takes a lot of strength to say no to the instant gratification of life. And I'm passionate about this. You can tell by the way I'm talking right now. I'm not speaking calmly because it takes strength. And you get angry sometimes when people keep prodding you like, you must be cheating. You must be doing something that's when we're not looking, that pisses me off. It's hard work. It's a lot of life strength to say no to this stuff. And it's a daily thing to say no to this stuff. You'll always be tempted. You'll always be, try this. No. This is who I am, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of being strong and sticking to what I want, and it shows. And these people that think we're cheating to get to where we are, that's like, maybe that's the way some people think. It's like the only way to get to being, young and strong and healthy is to cheat. Because that's what some people try. Oh, and the other thing is, talk about strength. We're on top of strength. How many people work out? How many people work their muscles? How many people actually do weight bearing? I'm not talking about, leisurely strolling or jogging or doing some bouncing on a trampoline or something. I'm talking about actual, you're straining your muscles and you got heavy weights that's what, women and men. You need strength. You need strength in your life. Matter of fact, releasing, working out your muscles, it does so much. And lactic acid's actually good for you. That's a whole nother video. But that's what helps release the HGH. That's what helps keep you young. That's what helps the circulation. The oxygen, everything is connected. You can't just pop a pill or take an herb or think it's some shortcut you can do. It's just like a lifestyle. It's not just something you eat or don't eat. It's the strength to be strong in everything, to do what you want to do in life, to be with who you want to be with, to follow your passion. Every bodybuilder, every successful athlete, everybody who's ever made it, even in business, the Tony Robbins, everybody, they're saying the same thing. You got to push yourself to the very limit. Beyond what other people consider their comfort zone. You got to push yourself to where you think. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger said the only way he got to be big and strong was when you do your reps, when you do your pushes, you got to go to failure. You got to go to where you collapse and you have somebody catch the weights from you because you just can't do one more. You feel like you're going to die. HIIT, high intensity training, where you run like hell, like as fast as you possibly can, and you think you're going to get a heart attack. You got to push yourself to the limit and watch how you feel afterwards. Watch how your skin glows. Watch how everything about you is full of life after that. How you come from down here to up here. Most people are just kind of in the middle and they just stay there and it's boring. That's not life. Life is a roller coaster. It's down and it's up and it's everywhere, but you got to push yourself up. I sound like a preacher here. Well, anyway, when people ask, how come you look pretty good while other people don't? I don't think I look in the mirror sometimes and I like, I can't look at myself. So I think it's a matter of, because you can't really, I think we're our own worst judge or whatever. So I can't really speak for how other people see me, because I don't know. I'm hard on myself, but I think a lot of it is you reflect the life force that's in you. I think a lot of people, they take the shortcut, they take the easy route. They have, they want to feel good right now, real quick. So they have some carbs, they have some sugar, they have fruit juice. And watch what happens after you have your carbs and your fruit juice. You crash. An hour later, you feel like sleeping. If you feel like sleeping an hour shortly after you eat your food, you're having a sugar crash. That's insulin. And when you start, and next time you have that, next time you eat something that makes you tired, because what we eat, we don't get tired afterwards. We have energy. We're going all day long. So the next time you eat something, you feel tired afterwards, remind yourself, that's insulin. That's a sugar crash. And that insulin equals aging. HGH, human growth hormone, equals youth. Try to have longer distances between eating, because that's the only time HGH is going to get released. And when you do eat, try to eat more bitter things, more fiber, more uncooked foods, more stuff the way you find it in nature. It's not fun. It's not like the sweetest tasting food. It's not like, so what? I think it's a worthy price to pay to never get sick ever again, to have hormones through the roof, to look great, feel great, have energy, think clearly. You got to pay a price somehow. I mean, you got to pay something to get something. I think that's a worthy price. And then once in a while, we have some desserts, we have some sweet little things, but it's not our main thing. That's not our main diet. It's like a little reward you have once in a while, not after every meal. Anyway, all right, I'm going on and on. So, push yourself to the limit, challenge yourself to do things that you really don't want to do. But you know what? Once you start doing it, ask any bodybuilder. You get addicted to the stuff that you hated before, the bitter foods. You can actually get liking the bitter foods. You can actually start liking the exercise. You can actually start enjoying the stuff that you were repulsed by earlier. You just got to get used to it. It's a matter of habit. Get into the habit of doing what you know is good for you and become somebody that other people look up to. Become a role model. Become that pillar of strength. People need inspiration. They need something to inspire them. So it takes work to get there, but once you're there, it's worth it. That's my lecture, my rant. Truth sucks sometimes. It's hard to take. It's this bitter pill, but bitter is good for you. There you go. I hope you still like me after this. But I gotta say it. It's the truth. It's the way it is. It's gotta be that way. It's the truth. All right. Just do it. Do it. Okay, bye.